The other IELTS video I made where I just gave the exam after preparation for just 3 hours, it's just getting too many comments about tips for IELTS reading section. So Kiki and I, we thought we should make a video about it because Kiki got 8 band, I got 8 band, but in the reading section I got a perfect 9.
And I got 8.5.
Yeah, almost the same.
I did a couple of mistakes.
So I think that would be a nice idea to just see what we think about the reading section of the exam, and if you can take something from it, awesome, use it and prepare yourself better for the exam. The first step is time division for the tasks. I was watching some videos on YouTube and the advice they give, it's completely crazy. I mean, they say that for the first task you need to have 17 minutes, for the second task you need to take out 20 minutes, for the third task you need to take out 23 minutes. So that's the formula they came up with. But I don't really think that you need to keep it that complicated. I mean, just take 20 minutes each for every task, and in those 20 minutes also include the time that you would need to transfer the answers to your answer sheet.
And it also depends on the type of essay that you will get. For example, in my exam, the first 2 essays I did it in 15 minutes, so I had 35 to 40 minutes to do the last passage, and I was still left with like 10 minutes to transfer my answers to the answer sheet.
Exactly, I'm thinking like the same thing happened with me. For me, like the first and second passage, it really didn't take a lot of time. The third passage, it was a bit big, and then I had to read it a few times, and only then I could get it done properly, and that resulted into that perfect 9 score. Now, the second tip that I would like to say is that you should try speed reading and you should limit your time on one question. Like, don't spend 5 or 10 minutes on one question. Just don't do that. Maybe 2 minutes maximum, 1 to 2 minutes. That's enough. Then go on to the next one so that you already have the previous question in your mind, and then you can also see what kind of text you are reading and if the previous question relates to the text that you're reading right now. Also, the speed reading term, it's a technique used by fast readers that they would see some group of words together and then they would just cut out all the small words from it. For example, is, the, of, from, these parts they would cut, and they would just really fastly read the whole sentences. For example, if I would say the brothers came from Germany and Canada to chill in India. So how would I read it? I would just read brothers, Germany, Canada, chill, India. This is how you reduce your time. And also, you know, if you watch some videos about speed reading, they would also advise you that you should definitely use a pencil when you're reading the text, so that, you know, you're pushing yourself with the speed. Otherwise, if you're not using a pencil or a finger, then you're just reading one sentence. You will read like this, then you will read the same words, and then you will read the next few, and it will get a bit lengthy and you will waste time like that. Some people even use chewing gums to just prevent themselves from reading the past words again. So do that, try speed reading, practice it. It doesn't take a lot of time. Develop a habit for it, because what I really believe is, like, when you're reading the new things, new text, in the first read you will maybe understand 40 to 50% of the whole text. In the second read you might understand 60 to 70%. In the third one it could go up to 90%. Right? So if you're reading really fast, and maybe it just happens all the time, you know, do you remember your science books or English books? Like, you would take a read one time and you wouldn't really learn much from it, but in the second or third time it will start going into your head. Although you don't have to learn it, but still, I mean, this time required to read one passage will be really less. So you can actually read the passage a few times before going to the next one. Some teachers also say that you should read the questions first and you should read the passage afterwards. I mean, alright, it's a good tip, but really didn't work for me. I read the questions, I went back to the passage, and I was trying to find the answers directly without even reading the passage, and it didn't really work for me. So I had to read the passage properly, go back to the questions, and then start again. But still, it didn't really take so much time for me because I was used to speed reading.
Yeah, my tip is totally different from his. So what I basically do is I go to the questions first. I underline the main points of the questions, like 2-3 basic words, or like the most important words from the question.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I make circles on them, and then I go to the passages. For example, you have 4 parts to a question. First is MCQ, second is true, false, not given. What I do is I take 2 questions from each part and I underline the basic idea in that, and then I go to the passages, and whichever one that I find first, I start going with that. Another tip, when you have to skip a question, you should make a mark, like a specific mark for specific part. Let's say you skipped question number 5 and you have an idea where the answer is. So what you can do okay, so what you can do is you can make a star in front of question number 5. Let's say you can make a star, and the area in which you think the answer is, you can make another star there. Now let's say question number 8, you don't know the answer of question number 8, but you still have an idea that it is in the last paragraph of the passage. You can make a different sign in front of question number 7 and the same sign on the last paragraph of the passage. Like that you won't have to waste the time again, because you will still have a little bit of idea where you have to go in the end to find the answer.
So I guess what you're trying to say is, for example, in question number 5 you make a star, in question number 8 maybe you make a circle or an equal to sign or something.
Exactly,
So
yeah,
you just
something
need
different.
you just need to use different symbols for every question.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I completely agree that you should also mark these keywords in every question so that you know them, that this question would be related to these kind of words and you need to find information regarding to these words in the passage.
And one more thing that you guys should keep in mind is, in some of the questions they write this did not happen, but sometimes you are reading the question very fast and you read it like this happened, and the same thing is written in the paragraph. So you need to take care, especially in the questions with true false not given. They will try to trick you in doing something wrong with this, so just keep in mind.
Exactly. With this I wanted to come to my third tip, that you should really carefully read the instructions that are given to you and see the question types. If it's an MCQ, if it's true, false and not given, if it's fill in the blanks, keep in mind what you're answering so that you know what kind of information you might be looking for.
Let's say there is a question which asks you to write the answer within 3 words. In the exam it will be given 3 words or less. You can't exceed the limit of these 3 words.
For example comes here right now, the awesome camera of Bharat. How you will rephrase it, you will have to rephrase it because you need to give just 3 words for that question. So you can do something like Bharat's awesome camera.
Exactly.
So summary of this part, read the instructions carefully, don't miss out. Maybe they are trying to ask something completely different and you answer something different. And also take care of the question types that are given to you. Now guys, be very careful. The spelling and grammar, both are really important. If you write something incorrectly, they will cut your marks for that and you will not receive any number for that question. So be very careful about the spellings and also about the grammar. For example, if the answer has to be Maharaja's castles or something, and if it's castles, then you need to write castles, you can't write castle. Otherwise, they will just cut the marks because you didn't use the noun in its correct form.
One more thing that I would like to add to it is your handwriting should be clear. If you would listen carefully to what examiner will say, in the instruction it will be said that unclear answers may not receive marks, and they do it. If your answer is not clear, they might not give you the answer because they won't give you the benefit of doubt. Either answer correctly in a clear manner or you won't receive the mark.
Positive points for the people with good handwriting.
I do invigilation in the IELTS Academy, so I have a little bit of idea about what you should and what you should not do. So please keep these things in mind.
Alright, with all of this I want to arrive at the final tip, which is just don't create a hype about the exam. Don't panic. Do you remember your 10th grade, 11th grade and 12th grade, and in English you used to receive these unseen passages? I mean, the level is almost the same. I really wouldn't make it a huge deal, really. Alright, in those exams you would have to write the answers are subjective and you will have to write full sentences, and it would be a bit easier, you would just straightly pick it from the paragraph and put it there. Here it's MCQ, the question types are very different. You really need to go through all of the types at least once. And you can practice this when you receive that Roads to IELTS module when you register for the exam. In that you will have almost all kinds of questions. If you just read it properly, I'm telling you, you will be completely set for the exam. It's not a big deal. I mean, I prepared for the exam just for 3 hours. Really. I didn't do anything else. It was all what I knew from my 11th, 12th, my BTech. I mean, in BTech there's not, some high level English, but still. You get a lot of practice in your 11th, 12th and even in 10th grade. If you can watch Game of Thrones, House of Cards or Suits properly without any problem, or even if you read the subtitles, even that's fine. As long as you understand it, you know that you are at a good level of English and you will not have any problems in the IELTS exam.
You don't need to take any pressure at all.
You don't need to take pressure, you don't even need to take coaching like all these coaching centers give you. I mean, everything that you need, everything is in the internet. I mean, I would have really understood if you were complaining about this 20 years ago, but not right now. I mean, internet literally has everything. It has so many model test papers, it has so many information, so many informative videos on YouTube. Just go through it and I think you will be perfectly fine. I mean, I did it in 3 hours, Kiki did it in 15 days. How is this exam difficult?